Malta's housing crisis is reshaping daily life. For many families, the dream of a home is slipping away as rents soar and property prices skyrocket. Empty city streets and rows of for-sale signs mark neighborhoods where locals are priced out, and homes are snapped up by foreign investors. Golden visas and investment schemes have opened Malta's doors to the wealthy, but left local families struggling to compete for a place to call home. For young adults and families, moving out or starting anew feels impossible. The sense of belonging fades as neighborhoods change and futures grow uncertain. For Maltese families, every euro is stretched to its limit. The cost of living rises, but paychecks remain the same. Rent takes a huge bite out of household budgets, often over €1,000 for a modest apartment. Grocery shopping is a careful calculation. Prices for basics like bread, milk, and vegetables keep climbing. Utility bills, electricity, water, internet, arrive with numbers that make families anxious. Many parents cut back on essentials, stretching every paycheck to cover food and school supplies. Some work 2 or even 3 jobs, late nights, early mornings, just to keep up. Young people delay moving out, couples postpone starting families, and the social fabric is stretched thin. The promise of prosperity feels distant. For many, the maths simply doesn't work. At the dinner table, families worry about tomorrow, wondering how much longer they can hold on. Malta's economy stands at a crossroads, deeply connected to the European Union and global markets. Foreign investment, expat workers, and tourism have fueled years of rapid growth. Malta's financial districts bustle with activity as global companies set up shop on the island. But this prosperity comes with risk. EU regulations and international scrutiny can change the rules overnight. A single policy shift in Brussels, or a global financial crisis, could threaten Malta's fragile economic balance. The island's dependence on outside capital leaves it vulnerable to forces beyond its control. As Malta looks to the future, the question remains: can it chart its own path, or will its fate be decided elsewhere? Across Malta, the rise of tourism and short-term rentals is changing the face of local neighborhoods. Apartments once filled with families are now listed as holiday lets. Airbnb signs hang where children's drawings once did. Local families pack their belongings, moving out as rents climb beyond their reach. Empty apartments await the next wave of tourists, while locals search desperately for a place to call home. Souvenir shops and luxury boutiques replace family-run bakeries and corner stores. Young people and lifelong residents alike struggle to find affordable homes as waiting lists grow and options shrink. Neighborhoods once filled with familiar faces now see a steady flow of visitors and rolling suitcases. The sense of community fades, replaced by the constant churn of arrivals and departures. For many Maltese, the cost is more than financial. It's the loss of belonging and the erosion of home. The question remains: how much of Malta can locals still call their own, as the island's heart beats to the rhythm of tourism? Malta stands at a crossroads where the dream of home slips further away for ordinary families. Streets once filled with neighbors and laughter now echo with uncertainty. Shops shuttered, windows dark, and dreams on hold. The pressure of rising costs, stagnant wages, and outside forces leaves many feeling left behind in their own country. Yet in the face of loss, there is resilience. Families support each other, and hope endures behind every door. As Malta's future hangs in the balance, the question remains: who will get to belong, and what kind of home will Malta become? Across Malta's most vibrant neighborhoods, a quiet transformation is underway. Valletta, Sliema, St. Paul's Bay, once filled with the laughter of neighbors and the comfort of community, are now dotted with suitcase wheels and rolling check-ins. The rise of short-term rentals, especially through platforms like Airbnb, is changing the very fabric of Maltese life. For landlords, the lure is clear. A single week with tourists can out-earn a month's rent from a local family. Apartment after apartment is converted into a holiday let, shrinking the pool of homes available to those who live and work here year-round. Maltese families find themselves searching further afield, forced out of the neighborhoods they once called home. Their commutes growing longer and their routes stretched thin. The city's heart beats to the rhythm of arrivals and departures, but for ordinary residents, the cost is deeply personal. Childhood streets become unfamiliar, as long-term neighbors are replaced by a steady flow of visitors. Local shops give way to souvenir stands. The sense of belonging, a home's true value, begins to slip away. This is the new reality for many in Malta, caught in the crossfire between tourism profits and the struggle for a place to call home. The question echoes louder than ever. How much of Malta can locals still claim as their own? Tourism is the lifeblood of Malta's microeconomy. For many locals, it means jobs, working in hotels, restaurants and souvenir shops, or guiding visitors through historic streets. The rhythm of daily life pulses with the arrival of each new group of tourists. Small businesses thrive on the steady stream of visitors. Family-run cafes, market stalls and guest houses depend on tourist spending to survive. For many, the summer season is a make-or-break period. But the work is often seasonal and uncertain. Many locals juggle multiple jobs, facing long hours and fluctuating incomes. When the tourists leave, so do many of the opportunities. Tourism drives up local prices. Everyday essentials, food, rent, even coffee, become more expensive as demand surges. Locals often find themselves competing with visitors for basic goods and services. The influx of tourists brings both opportunity and challenge. While some benefit from the economic boost, others struggle with rising costs and the pressure on daily life. The balance is delicate, and not everyone wins. For Malta's workers and small business owners, tourism is both a blessing and a burden, fueling dreams but also testing the limits of daily life. The breaking point is not just in Malta's skyline, but in its homes and streets. Every day, families worry about making rent, shopkeepers close their doors for good, and workers face the fear of losing their jobs. The pressure is personal, and it's everywhere. Small businesses, once the heart of local communities, are shuttering as costs soar and customers dwindle. Shop windows go dark, and the dreams of local entrepreneurs fade with each closing sign. For many, job security is a memory. People line up for interviews, scan job boards, and send out applications, hoping for a chance. Even those with work worry about layoffs or reduced hours. Personal debt is rising. Credit cards and loans fill the gap between wages and the cost of living, but the burden grows heavier each month. The stress is visible on the faces of parents and young adults alike. Yet, in the midst of hardship, there is resilience. Neighbours support each other, families share what they have, and local entrepreneurs fight to keep their businesses alive. The struggle is real, but so is the determination to endure. But the question remains, how much more can people take? As the cost of living rises and opportunities shrink, the future of Malta's families and communities hangs in the balance.